Hello everyone, this is Professor Halsey and I want to get started here with the ZyBook assignments. First of all, let's come back and look at how to get into the ZyBook assignments because it's not called that. It's actually called active reading, and you'll come down to the bottom of Module 1 and the last assignment there, but it's right above the survey, is active reading. It's worth 70 points, and we'll click there. Okay, now anytime you're not sure exactly which assignments are done, because there's a lot of assignments in ZyBooks you can do for practice, this is the list of what's required for the week. So we're supposed to get through 1.1 all the way up to 1.7. Okay, make sure to click on that link to get here, because if you don't, you may not get credit for your assignment until you click on that link. So make sure you're coming through modules, clicking on that Module 1 active reading to get to here. All right. And then with this first assignment, you do a little reading, and then you're going to run this assignment. So to run it, I hit start, and it's going to walk me through the code. So the line wage equals 20, puts a placeholder in memory called wage with 20 in it, hours 40, weeks 50. All right. So once it quits, then we're going to click on the number 2. It'll play that part. Salary equals wage times hours times weeks, and it multiplies it all together and stores it in salary. And then we have print salary, which actually takes that 40,000 value and prints it to the screen. Okay, that one quits. I'm going to move on to number 3. And there's also a caption down here. So if you're not sure what's going on, you can read down here. Users can change values and execute the calculations again. Okay, once it completed, you notice the check mark came up here. I'm done with that assignment. I don't need to do anything else with it. I can run through it again if I want to. In fact, when you come back out, it will no longer be exactly where it's at right now. It'll be blank so that you can run it again if you want to. Okay, the next one is a short matching set. So you want to take the definitions here and find which term fits the definition best. And it does let you know as you do it what's going on, whether it's right or not. So a program that executes computer code would be an interpreter. See out here it tells me that's correct. Let's try the text that represents a computer program. Some will say that's a prompt, and it's like, no, that's not right. Okay, prompt informs the programmer that the interpreter is ready to accept commands. Line is a row of text, and code the text that represents a computer program. And then I get my check mark. All right. And again, you can read through that information there before continuing on. Okay, here we have another short participation activity, executing a simple Python program. So I'll click Start. And you can see here, instead of doing it at the prompt like we were before, it's actually running it from within a file. Okay, that was number 1. The Python interpreter reads a file line by line. Number 2, 20 times 40 times 50 is computed and then assigned to the variable salary. Okay, so then for number 3, the print statement prints salary is to the screen and displays the value of the variable salary. Okay, then on to number 4. Values can be overwritten if the same variable name is used. So if I enter a new command, hours equals 35, it would change the value of hours and would recalculate salary. Okay, and we're finished with that one. So once we've completed each section, we get our little check mark here that shows us that we've completed that section. Okay, so if you're concerned about where you're at and where you got to go, hit these little 3 buttons and you can see right here we're still in 1.1. We've not quite gotten to 1.2 yet. We're almost there. And we're going to 1.7, which is the lab. 1.6 and 1.7 are the 2 labs that are required for Module 1. Okay, so with this particular activity, we're choosing the correct answer. What is the purpose of variables? Store values for later use, instruct the processor to execute an action, or automatically color text in the editor. So that's where we store values, and you can see it tells me if I'm correct or not. I'm so jealous because I would have loved having some stuff like this when I was learning coding. So it's an amazing system to work in. The code 20 times 40 is an expression. And again, it's not that difficult if you choose the incorrect answer to choose the correct answer and get your check mark. How are most Python programs developed? We write the code in a file as opposed to line by line interactive interpreters. Although both do work, it's just a lot more inconvenient. It's a lot more convenient to do it in a file. Comments are required in a program. Technically they are, but it says no, they're not. They help explain the code to the reader. Many of your employers will argue otherwise, that yes, they are required. Okay, and then once I got done with all 4 of those, you see I got the overall check mark there. Okay, now, neat thing here, if you have no idea what's going on with this one, you come up here and there where it says instructor's note, do you need assistance? This is a video that helps you with the assignment that's below. Okay, so you can launch that video and it will help you understand the program that you're looking at here. And you can walk through all the code. There's a lot of code there. It's a car race thing, or you can just hit run. All right, and in this example, car 1, it crossed the finish line first. It won by 155 meters. I can run it again. And you'll see that car 1 wins by 155 meters. So the same outcome because you have the same initial speed. So if I change the speed and the acceleration and run it again, I get a different outcome. This time car 2 won by 205 meters. So play with that and enjoy it. And you can see once I've done it once, I think I'm done with that. I don't think I had to do anything with that. So here is where I go into the next section, 1.2. Okay, and I'm not going to keep walking through each one of these. I wanted to kind of show you how each one of them worked. So here is an example that they want you to look at. All right, several print statements. Print, hello there, my name is, and Carl. So that comes out on 3 separate lines. When you use the end equals and the empty quotes, that says don't move to the next line but stay on the same line. So here it goes hello there and stays on the same line. And then my name is ... Carl, question mark, and all that's on the same line because they use the end equals end quote or open quotes there. And that holds it on the same line. Okay, so here again is some multiple answer. We pick what we think will print out. Select the statement that prints the following. So would it be this one, or this one? And you pick which one you think it is. And it tells you it either is or it isn't. And it wasn't because my quotes weren't matching. Which statement print output on the same line? It was the end equals with the quotes. Okay, down here they want us to type an answer in that fits what they're asking for. Type a statement that prints the following. So we would do our print, open parentheses, open quote, and hello. And technically it's italics, but we won't even go there. We're just going to close the quotes and the parentheses, hit check, and see that it did like what we typed in. So if I'm not sure what's going on there and I don't have any idea how to answer, I can always hit this show answer twice and it's going to tell me exactly what I need to type in. Okay, here's another one, instructor note. So if you don't know what to do down here, what you're going to do is run this video and one of the professors is going to explain to you step by step what's needed down here. Okay, all right, so I'm not going to launch that because it's a video within a video. It gets kind of weird there. So you would run the video here to watch those specific instructions. Okay, so this is where a lot of people get confused. They don't know what to do here. So there's a couple of ways you can deal with it. You can delete this line and put your code here and run it. As long as it passed the test, all tests passed, you're good. The other thing we can do here is not delete that line. I don't think they're okay. And I can print it below it and run it. And I think it does the same thing. So it doesn't matter. As long as I put it either here or below here, I want to put my solution where it says to put the solution. So that's where I type the code that I'm going to need to type to meet the requirements up here. Okay, again, they're going to ask me a question or ask me to write some code, output the following figure with asterisks, and white space, blank line matters. Make sure your white space exactly matches the expected output. So down here below where it says your solution goes here, we start typing our solution using a series of print statements to form what we see up here. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 asterisks on the first line. So that's how many I need here inside of the print statement on my first line. There's 2 on the second line, but they're spaced out with 4 in between. So I would do 1 space, 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 and then number 2. You can use the one above it to judge where you have the 1 at the beginning and the 1 at the end. Okay, then you have 3 other print statements to finish forming that figure 8. And you hit run once you're done. And if it comes back and says all tests pass and you get your check mark over here, then you're good to go. Okay, so again, different types of activities require different input or output from you based on what it's asking you to do. So given the variable number or variable num cars equals 9, which statement prints 9? Num cars in quote would print the word num cars. So it would have to be num cars without the quotes. And I get my check mark. Write a statement that prints the value of the variable num people. Okay, so just like we saw up there, we would do print and num, and I have to do it just like it shows in the example, num people, and put it in parentheses and check that. Now again, if I was not sure, I can hit show answer twice and it'll show me exactly right here what I was supposed to type over here. Okay, so you keep going through the material. The main part is you're reading through each step. And as you get to a challenge activity, if you have any questions or have trouble with those, feel free to make a post in the discussions or email me and get a quick answer. Hope that helps you get started with Module 1.